I'm obsessed with trial reels right now. And so I wanted to make an episode kind of breaking down what trial reels are, how they work, how you can best use them, because a lot of people have asked me about them recently because I'm actually doing a personal challenge for myself to post 3 trial reels a day. So I figured I'd spill the tea on all things trial reels. So if anyone else wants to take advantage of them while they're still relatively new, you can. Trial reels are Instagram's new feature. They're a new way to see what content performs best for you, and you have the option to share a reel with your non-followers. So basically you have the option to later share it on with the rest of your audience and put it on your main feed, but until you do that, it lives on its own separate little grid, that only you can see, and only the people who are interacting with the trial, well, they can't see the whole grid with your other trial reels, but they can still see that trial reel if they save it to like a folder or share it with someone. But your current followers, they don't get to see it, which I think is pretty cool. It's a really nice way of like A/B testing, putting new ideas out there. You can test out, new content styles or formats, new messaging. You can switch up your niche if you want to, because the only people who are seeing this are people who don't follow you. And it gives you really good data and feedback to use to improve your content so that when you do post it to your, main feed, your current followers will also interact with it. But for me personally, my main goal in using trial reels is to attract new followers, get more visibility, reach people who don't yet follow you, and attract a whole new group of people to your page, to your brand, to your business, who wouldn't have otherwise seen you unless you ended up on their explore page or they came across you on the Reels tab. So I think it's a really, really great tool to use, and I will definitely be turning it up a notch. Like I said, I'm posting 3 a day, and you can post up to 5 trial reels per day. Originally, I think Instagram let you post as many as you want, but some people were taking advantage of the feature in like not the best ways, and they were like overloading the trial reels algorithm, because it is a completely separate algorithm that this content is going to than the one that like goes on your regular feed. So you can only post up to 5, and so even 5 a day is like insane. I can't believe that some people were actually posting like 20, 50 trial reels a day. I heard someone, I listened to a podcast, I think it was Brock Johnson, said he posted like 100. Maybe I heard that wrong. I don't know. But it was some insane number of trial reels a day. And like, you don't even really need to be doing all of that to see really great results. I feel like right now, with even posting 2, obviously my goal is to post 3, but at the end of the day, sometimes the past week, I've just been like, 2 is good enough. So even with those 2, I've seen a like spike in my engagement. I'm attracting non-followers, and my content is performing really well when I do share it with my regular followers. Like, it has already been seen by like 5,000 people, and then I share it to my regular one, and my current audience gets to see and engage with it, and it already has such great engagement on it, which I kind of love. um and so usually with the trial reels, they'll share automatically after 24 hours, but you can turn that setting off, and you can share them to your regular feed whenever you feel like it. That's what I did, because I don't want them to automatically share after 24 hours. So yeah, that's kind of like what they are. And I talked a little bit about why you should use them, which main point is to get visible. Like, it's a great tool for being seen by new people. And let's get into a little bit of like the strategy for trial reels, because they are different than what you would post on your feed. When you're posting on your regular feed to your current followers, those are people who already know you. If you have a business, they're the people who already know, like, and trust you. Ideally, they're the ones who are seeing your stories, and they know a little bit about you. They have some background, they have some context. But trial reels, these are complete strangers. They typically will have no idea who you are unless you're consistently popping up on their feed and their reels tab. I have noticed, now that I'm using trial reels more, I'm seeing similar non-followers, like with the same username, liking my posts. So I am popping up on their feed more. So they're going to get to know me, my face, my voice, my content, my, content pillars, my niche, all of that stuff. But until they do, you have a really, really unique opportunity to, do whatever it is that you want to do. And I feel like the best type of content to use for trial reels is the top of funnel content. That's the awareness content that is for strangers. And that's really like, it can be a little mix of all of these things, but ideally you want to provide value to the strangers who don't know you yet, so you can pull them in and then charm them with your amazing personality and amazing life and all of the other things that they'll get to see once they do finally follow you. But in order to do that, you have to give them some type of value. And value can be, education, entertainment, inspiration. Like, those are all counting as value, but you have to give them a reason to engage with your post and follow you because they don't know you yet. If you're just posting lifestyle content like get ready with me's or I call it selfish content where you're not really giving anything to them initially, you're not going to see great engagement with the trial reels. And I will preface and say that it does take some time to see momentum. Like when I first started posting trial reels, I was only getting like 100 views, if that. Now when I post a trial reel, if it's a good one, because sometimes I post a crappy piece of content and I get crappy results, but for the most part, when I'm like putting effort into each piece, which is why I'm only doing like 2 to 3 because I want them to be, aligned. I want them to attract the right people. Because, like with anything, when you're posting content that is mainly focused on visibility and it goes viral, you want to make sure it's for the right thing. You don't want to attract the wrong audience or go viral for the wrong thing because that is a very big possibility with trial reels. One of mine, it didn't go viral, but it's like sitting at 20,000 views, and that's more than what I usually have on my Instagram profile. And I'm so glad that it was for the right thing. Because if not, you can attract the wrong audience, get on the wrong side of the internet, and that's just never a good thing. So, yeah, making sure that you're posting, pieces of content that are aligned with what you want to be known for, the community you want to attract, the brand you want to build, and making content that is valuable for them, gives them something like a takeaway. And I love to, when I'm creating content and when I'm teaching this to people, I love to teach it kind of like you want to make the content that is savable, shareable, relatable, and valuable. So that's like how I measure the impact that a post is going to have. I determine whether it's someone's going to be able to save this, like if it's a helpful tip or it's a quote that they want to remember, or like I'm teaching them something. Obviously they're going to want to save that so they can come back to it. Is it shareable? Is it something that someone would want to share with their best friend, with their mom? Like it's an identity piece of content that is really like calling someone out, or it's something that maybe it's an inside joke that two people have together that they want to share with someone. If it's relatable, that's always a good one because relatable content can be both shareable or savable. I think that's why people would share it or save it if it is, especially share it if it is relatable. And then valuable. I mean, let me go back to relatable for a second because that could also be kind of like the lifestyle stuff, but it's like how you do lifestyle content. It's like I'm not saying you can't post lifestyle content to trial reels, but you have to make it relatable enough that people still see themselves in it. Like it's not just all about you. And there's a very like strategic way you can do this that we're not going to talk about in this episode, maybe another one. But yeah, you want to make sure that it's relatable or valuable. Again, kind of going back to the umbrella of value. It's anything that someone else can take something away from. You're giving them an insight, shifting a perspective. You can be entertaining them, inspiring them. You just want to make sure that it is valuable for the person on the other side of the screen. It's not just all about you. And some ways that you can do this to really stand out on trial reels and make sure that you're being seen by the right people and being seen by more people is to become easily recognizable. I kind of went back and I said that I'm starting to see the same users interacting with my trial reels content. They haven't followed me yet, but I'm noticing a pattern with the people who are seeing my stuff. And so I think I'm becoming easily recognizable to them. One, because I post, and I'm going to get to this at the end, but I post a variety of different types of content. Um, and so when they're seeing my face in the face to camera content, or just my face in general, like in B-roll or in a vlog or whatever, they're getting to know a little bit more about me and becoming easily recognizable because usually I film my face to camera videos in the same exact spot. My vibe and my like visual branding is very similar in all of my content, like my hairstyle, my outfits. People are able to get to know me and see me and remember me because of all of these, brand elements. And so, some ways you can do this are to create a series. I love a good series. I'm about to start one in January. I'm like working on outlining it right now. And I think series and trial reels, they go together like peanut butter and jelly. Like they're, I think, one of the best ways that you can utilize the tool to its full advantage because then when you create a series, you're one, creating value for someone. You're giving them a reason to come back. It could be savable, it could be shareable, it could be relatable. Like you're going to become so much like people are going to have that know, like, and trust so much more quickly, especially when you're talking about the same topic over and over again in the same content style or format. And I think that's why a series would work really well for trial reels because it will, I mean, it's inevitable for it to help you become easily recognizable, easily memorable, and then people will want to follow you for that thing that you were sharing about. Like you'll become known for that series or that topic, and that's what we want. And I'm not saying that it's going to put you in a box or in a niche that you want to that you're going to have to stay in till the end of time, because I think if you're using trial reels correctly and you have, you know, other content pillars that you're rotating between, I think a series will only enhance your brand and your business. It won't box you in. And maybe we can do another episode about that because that's a whole nother conversation. But yeah, create a series. Filming in the same locations. Like for my YouTube videos slash podcast episodes, I'm sitting here every time. When I do face to camera videos, I'm usually sitting on my couch. Um, when I do my series, I'm probably going to sit in this spot every single time. So it's easily recognizable for people. Or maybe I'm moving in January, which is a side note, maybe another spot in my new apartment. Um, but filming in the same location is a great way for people to, you know, recognize you easily. Become known for a specific topic. Again, goes back to the series element. Keep the same content style or format. So if you use face to camera a lot, if you do a lot of vlogs, if you do a lot of B-roll, stick with that. And that doesn't mean you have to only do that, but that could be like your primary content format, or content style, like your editing style. If you use the same fonts, use the same like graphics or sounds or whatever, create elements that people can identify with you. Use the same words consistently. Don't be afraid to repeat yourself. This goes back to the series thing too, but I just think in general, repetition is one of the best ways to become known for something and to have people recognize you, to build your brand. Because when you are able to have people like parrot back to you words that you say or messages that you say, or they're just hearing the same message or idea from you consistently, that's how you take up, you know, real estate in their minds, and that's how they get to know, like, and trust you, and that's what makes you memorable and easily recognizable. So those are my tips to be recognizable. And then some of the other things that I kind of wanted to share, just so you have some other tactical things you could do to utilize trial reels. Number one, keep them short and spicy. I feel like if you can keep it under 15 seconds, amazing. But even some of my videos that are 30 seconds, 45 seconds are doing really well. So it doesn't necessarily have to be super short. I'm not talking like 1 second reels or anything, but I think the shorter the better, because again, these are strangers, they don't know you yet. So until they do, you want to make sure that like you're capturing their attention and getting your message across in the most efficient and effective way possible. So short and spicy, get to the point quickly. don't don't wait until like 20 seconds in, 10 seconds in to get to the point. Like start with the end in mind. Like start with the takeaway that you want someone to have, and then give context or backstory or whatever. Because if you don't, you're going to lose them. So get to the point, cut out the millennial pause. um Make sure that there's no like long make sure there's no long spaces or or likes that are taking up space in your video, because you can easily cut those out. Even though it's annoying, cut them out. Make sure to give people a clear takeaway. More value, more visibility. So if you give someone something that they can take away from that video, whether it's a tip, an insight, a mindset shift, a feeling, especially a feeling, like people will not remember your content. They won't remember what you said in the video, but they will remember the way that you made them feel. So if you can make them feel something in 15, 30, 45 seconds, amazing. They will remember you, they will follow you, they will come back for more. Um, Remember the spice method. Have a whole episode about spice. Be specific, polarizing, interesting, consistent, and emotional. Just talked about emotional. I'm not going to talk about spice because I talk about it so fucking much. But go back and listen to the other episode if you want to know more about the spice framework. And these tips are specifically for face to camera content, but make sure that your face to camera videos are authentic and you focus on connection. Again, going back to the emotion, the feelings. What do you want to make someone feel? How can you, and then also like just making them connect with you as a person. Like when I'm doing face to camera content, I'm not saying that you have to like do your hair and makeup and all the things, but I know that when you look prettier, when you look put together, you do typically get better engagement. People remember you better. They take you more seriously, especially if you're like a business owner, or you're trying to build a more like polished brand. People do remember the way that you look. Like branding, your visual branding, your image is part of your, reputation. It's part of how people perceive you. So if you want to have a good, perception, good reputation, pour it into your physical appearance too before you hop on camera. Again, try to keep them under 30 seconds unless they're highly engaging, like it's some tea, some piping hot tea that people actually want to watch to the end. If it's spicy at the beginning and then you give the backstory or context, and you just, if you give someone a reason to stay till the end, they will. But it's really hard to do that, especially for strangers. So try to keep them under 30 seconds. Use the triple hook method. I talked about this also in a separate episode. I'll link both the spice episode and the triple hook method episode in the show notes so you can find it. Um, but the triple hook method is a visual hook, an auditory hook, and then a text on screen hook. Visual hook could be like putting on the lip gloss, shaking the phone, doing something with your hair, like maybe you have like a cool water bottle or you're holding something. Visual hook. And then you want to have a auditory hook, so that could be like a sound. It could be like keys jingling or like a ding, or you know how they have those like special sound effects. I don't really love them, but they're fine. Also, your auditory hook could be the first thing that you say out of your mouth, how you say it out of your mouth. Like if you're whispering like this, or if you're shouting, or even just like it's a curse word or like something spicy, capture someone's attention with that auditory hook. Then the text on screen hook, that is the SEO, like point of the video. If you are doing face to camera, you want to make sure that you're giving people context for what the video is. It's like your title. So making sure that you have the triple hook method, being, again, going back to the emotional stuff, like especially when it's face to camera, emotions work really well. Like whether you're super happy or super sad or you're just fired up, like let that show through the camera. And then use micro stories instead of teaching, especially for strangers, like even just in general, even with your current audience. I think people are like burnt out with the teaching content. They want to be told stories. They want to be taught like lessons from your perspective and see things differently, and they don't want it to feel like they're going to school. They want it to feel like they're being like spoken to on a deeper level, maybe friend to friend or mentor to peer, to mentor to mentee, like give that kind of vibe and use micro stories to get your point across. So instead of like saying when life gives you lemons, make lemonade, tell a story about a time where life gave you lemons and you made lemonade. You feel me? So those are the tips. We're almost there, guys. Trying to keep this under 25 minutes. But yeah, so the last thing I wanted to go over was just like my personal strategy for my trial reels right now, and then some examples of ones that I posted that are doing pretty well. So my strategy right now is 3 trial reels a day, at the minimum 2. And I'm doing one that's like motivational slash inspirational, one that's more education value, and then one that's silly fun lifestyle, like that's just for me. It could be like a trend or anything like that, just because I don't want to burn myself out and I also want to make it fun. So that's my goal, 3 a day. And then some examples of the ones that I'm doing well right now are like, the first one was a trend. I saw it on TikTok and then I posted it to Reels. That's kind of my strategy also. Like I look for things that are doing well on TikTok and then I immediately, like, I don't copy them, but like I put my own spin on it and then I upload it to trial Reels and they do really well. I have like another one right now that I just posted, yeah, last night, based on a trend I saw starting on TikTok, and it's popping off a little bit. So the one that I posted, it was the blank effect. And so I saw a girl on TikTok, hers was the Italy effect. So I did the Spain effect. And it was a video of me going from like sad, unhappy, overweight in the US, and then moving to Spain and everything's amazing. My life is perfect. Obviously not, but like that's the vibe that you get from the video. So that did really well. The emotion, it's trendy, it was short, it was, like it was just I think a great video, but I'm biased. So the second one that's doing pretty well right now is a B-roll video. It's like a just text on screen, a video of me speaking in school. We had like a mock press conference, and then the text overlay with the trending sound. I recently saw a post that said, every time you hide, someone with half your talent takes your opportunity. And I haven't stopped thinking about it since. It was 7 seconds. It had a trending sound. It had a pretty engaging visual, and it's doing pretty well. And then the next one, the last one example I'll give is a face to camera. It was like kind of like a pep talk style piece of content, and it was similar to something that I saw doing that I'm seeing doing well on TikTok right now. It's a specific trending sound that goes along with the pep talk, and the one that what I was saying in the video was like, have you ever considered that maybe it didn't work out because you would have hated it? It was 34 seconds. It had the dramatic background music. It was kind of a trend. It was motivational, inspirational, and that did really well and it got me a bunch of new followers. So that is the tea on trial reels. I'm obsessed. I think trial reels are like very similar to how TikTok was working in 2020 when like it first kind of popped off. It's giving you that visibility and that exposure that I think you can't really find on other platforms right now, even TikTok, because of how saturated it is. And I think that if you utilize trial reels now and you don't wait until like mid 2026 to actually get started, you'll see so much growth, like for your brand, for your business, because obviously we don't just want likes and followers. Like the goal is to build that community, gain clients, make money, sell your services, your products, whatever it is. And I think that trial reels is such a unique tool to do that. I've had friends that I've seen go from having like 21K to 100K now. Like it's insane in just a few months. So that's all I'm gonna say. You can do what you want with this information, but you know what I'll be doing. So I hope this was helpful. I hope you used the tips. I hope you took notes. If you didn't, go back and write them down or use the transcript. And if you have questions, feel free to DM me on Instagram. You can book a strategy session with me. The link will be in the show notes. Um, you can grab my content calendar. That's $15. That can help you get started. And yeah, like I said, hope you enjoyed the episode and I hope you have an amazing rest of your week. I'll see you guys in the next episode.